Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome to Realtree Land Pro Fridays. Hope everybody's doing well. Keith, how are you this morning?
I'm here finding frog hair. The guess we got today makes me want to just bring out all those old country.
We are, it's been a good week. It's been a hot one, though, hasn't it?
It's been hot. It's been hot.
We looked at 2 properties yesterday, so we were outside a good bit. It got warm.
You find any ticks on
I didn't find any.
I didn't either.
Well, I probably don't go home and look for something. I think of that.
I ain't helping you with that.
Good. We have a special guest with us today. We're excited about today's guest. We got the Pig Man, Brady Hodge.
How are y'all doing today?
Very good, man.
Glad y'all let me come talk with y'all today.
I have to tell you, in recent weeks, I get on social media a good bit, like most folks do.
Yeah.
I keep running across these Stan King commercials and
Yeah.
other things, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know that dude.
Yeah. Everybody knows me. Everybody, it's kind of like winning some money. Everybody wants to come see me all of a sudden, But yeah, it's been a fun adventure to do something I didn't think I'd ever do. I didn't think anybody ever want me on their commercials. So. I also didn't think anybody ever want me in the radio studio with them, but here I am. So.
Well, we're excited about it. And the reason why we recognize having Brady on is because, of course, we sell land, right? Keith and I do this, our office sells property. And so we talk to people all the time who really seek out this country lifestyle. And, for you, this is nothing new. You grew up here, right? This is your home.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and your background, that kind of thing.
Well, I'm Brady Hodge. I'm from Brookhaven. I married Jessica Smith Hodge now, obviously, from Bogachita. We've got 3 kids. Try to remember this so I don't get in trouble. A 12-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a new to us 8-month-old. And we live at Fair River. That's we're Fair River Farmstead. But we just wanted to raise our own meat one day. Woke up and decided to do that, and it kind of just spiraled up from there. I saw an opportunity to not only raise our own meat, but to make a little money in the process, and and at least have the animals pay for themselves. It was the plan. But we offer lots of different options. So we sell piglets. We'll sell whole and half hogs. We've got chickens, rabbits, sheep, goats. I think that's it, but I could be missing something in the process there. So.
Well, it's a pretty unique setup in the sense that, we've talked about this, Keith, in the past. People want to know now more than ever where their food comes from.
Right, that's right. And ours, the way we do all of our stuff, it's more of a free range atmosphere. We don't have, a huge infrastructure with a barn. We've got barns that we store feed in and stuff like that, but it's a pretty simplistic setup as far as that's concerned. And it all sprung from us being young and trying to save money, and it didn't take a lot to get started, but we keep everything, out in the open, and it was just kind of what we wanted it to be, more than the commercial side of, farming and stuff like that.
Right. Well, tell us a little bit about your place. So it's located out near the Fair River area.
It is. It's Lincoln County. It's not far from Lawrence County, but we're out that way. We operate on just under 10 acres. We've got a large hog farm operated on that, along with chickens, and our goats stay there. But I'd be lying if I said the exact number, but I know we've got 18 piglets right now, so that probably puts us somewhere around 30 pigs total. And we keep them on that, about 5 acres of that, right. Just under 10. And that's what I always stress to people more than anything, is that they don't need, everything that they have to see on, the TV or whatever to have a successful farm. You just need to have a little bit of land, a little bit of want to, and hopefully a little bit of knowledge in the process.
Listen, when I was growing up, my daddy raised 2 pigs. He'd get them, and he had a little pen. He would put them in. We'd feed them out, and raise them, and take them to the butcher, and they process it for us and everything. But every now and then, those things would get out.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was going to be the hottest day of the year or the coldest day of the year when they get out. And I'd be out there literally chasing a pig through the woods, trying to catch it.
It was just this week, a neighbor called and said, "Do you happen to have a big red sow and a bunch of piglets?" I said, "Absolutely, I do. Where are they at? Oh, they're on the blacktop road. And I said, oh no, that's bad. So obviously we had to go get them back in. It's just one of those things, you know, when you, like I said, when you keep them in the type of, you know, infrastructure we keep them in, which is mostly electric fence, it's gonna happen. But that's just like you talking about the hot and the cold. That's when animals are gonna have babies. Is when it's the coldest I've ever seen. You may not even have something you know it's expecting, and it snows. You're just gonna have a baby. So.
And you're forced to help take care of.
Exactly right. Exactly. Then you're worried about them. You know, we don't have cold like that, and until this year, we hadn't really had heat like we've had.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And it's an adventure, especially with. And I talk more about pigs than anything because that's our, you know, where we started, and that's kind of our biggest forte. But pigs don't do well in heat. You know, they do a lot better in the cold, and you know that if you know, did what you did. But it takes a lot of water. Lincoln Rural Water really enjoys us this time of year. So
I'm sure. So just to recap, so what you do is you raise piglets.
That's right.
Someone, if they're interested, if you're listening today and you're thinking about, you know, I'd love to have a pig that I could harvest down the road and have fresh pork.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit, like I said, of everything. We can sell the piglet to somebody that's got the ability or the want to try that themselves, and, you know, raise it themselves, know where it came from, know where it's been its whole life, you know.
That's right.
And then for the people that can't do that, like I said, we offer, you know, other options, which would be butchered, processed pigs. But yeah, we've got piglets all the time. Like I said, I got 18 right this minute. So
there's some available out
there. It is, and there's a lot more coming in the future. We operate about right now. I've got 3 sows. I've got a buddy that's a partner that also helps me because I couldn't keep up enough piglets at the time when we started really booming. So he's got 3 at his place too that are all related to ours. So we've got 6 sows right now and 2 breeding boars. So in theory, we can turn out well over 100 piglets a year, but we try. As much as I'd love to do that, I also don't want to get stuck with a bunch of them.
Yeah,
we got to keep it manageable.
That leads me to a question I thought of earlier. I mean, how long? I mean, realistically, can you get a couple of litters a year?
Oh yeah, no, ours are going to do 2 a year because it's roughly a 6-month process, you know. So, and our good ones are between 12 and 14 every litter, average 8 to 10. So. It's if you've got a good producer, you know, you can really turn some piglets around pretty quick.
Sure.
Just like the wild ones, you know, but
yeah, we've talked about that before.
I'm sure.
More in control.
I'm sure.
Yeah, they can reproduce so quickly, and that's what makes the wild hogs such a problem.
Right. Well, and what I've seen, knowing about pigs like I do, the wild ones would be worse if there weren't predators taking out the piglets. You know,
That's true.
If they were doing like we were and they were having 14 every 6 months, I mean, it'd be way worse.
It'd be a whole lot worse. You're right. All right. So you brought up a good point earlier. Y'all have about 10 acres, and you made a comment that you really don't need that much. And I think that's a huge misconception. A lot of people. That's one reason why they're hesitant to pull the trigger on buying a little farm.
Right.
When they think of the word farm, they're thinking of 100+ acres.
That's right.
And you just don't need that much property. It'd be nice if you can afford it. That's perfect.
Oh,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
But most of us can't. And so now you could add on to it over the years and that kind of thing.
That's right.
But I guess what you're saying is, don't let that be a turn off to you if you're interested in buying a farm or a tract of land and turn it to a farm. You can really work with less acreage.
Oh yeah, there's like I say, we don't even use even half hardly of our 10 acres for just our hogs, and we've got, you know, we raise cattle and all that on there too. Not lots of cattle, but 1 milk cow. But the way we're able to do that is we have different paddocks split up in those sections, and we're able to move them, you know, as they beat this down, which they still require feed. It's hard to get a domestic hog to survive on, you know, underbrush here in Mississippi.
Right.
But anyway, we rotate them around, and that way, you know, they're on the whole place, but they're not on the whole place all the time, you know. And really, you could just about, I mean, 2 pigs like you said you raised, you could keep them half an acre, you know, and because I mean they're in theory, if you get the right cross, which ours are pretty good at doing this, is 7 months from the day you pick it up, it's ready to go to the butcher. I mean, that's not a lot of time to keep something on a piece of property, you know.
That's so true.
Those 2 that we had, we probably had them in like a 16 by 16
Right.
pen, wood pen,
Right.
had wood floor in it.
And that's, you
And
know,
but they could eat their way through that
They
lumber
could.
sometimes. too.
Well, and that's been my biggest. I've done it both ways. I prefer the more mobile setup for a pig. I prefer the way the meat is when they moved around and built more muscle as opposed to just more meat and fat. But at the same time too, like you say, when they get bigger, they're gonna start trying to find a way out. So to me, if you go ahead and give them a little more space and keep them moving, it's a little less trouble when the time comes. So.
All right, let's switch gears for a
Yeah.
minute. Let's talk about what you're experiencing now with people reaching out to you, being on commercials and things like that. Kind of tell us a story how that.
All right, and not only that, with the way, you know, the meat industry is, I mean, that has really made a big change too. It's been fun, you know, people, you know, they don't just, we've been recognized for years as the people that have pigs, you know, which is kind of where the pig man thing came from, more than the commercials and stuff like that. But
so that really developed first.
It did, yeah. And honestly, I tell people I don't call myself the pig man for nothing, because I just started calling myself that as a joke one day, because I was a guy that people went to for pigs, you know, for a while, and then, you know, it kind of took off, and now everybody's like, that's the pig man. You know, I was like, heck yeah, it is. But it's interesting to watch how that exposure has really brought light, you know, not just to me necessarily, but to our farm in general, you know, and people wanting to know, where did the pig man come from? Why does he call himself the pig man? Is he crazy, you know, or
Right.
whatever? And it's been a lot of fun. So.
Well, I got a question for you. How does your mama like your beard?
No.
If you're watching this on YouTube,
Well,
you can see this man's beard. If you can
it's
see it over
decent.
the radio,
It's
I
decent.
want to meet you. But
Well, more my wife than anybody, because I haven't technically shaved it in close to 4 years, and I get it trimmed. I get it trimmed at Brookhaven Barbershop. Jill and them keep me straight up there. And I tell them every time, I was like, look, man, I may have something that somebody needs to see, so don't shave too much, you know. But for the longest time, my wife was, you gonna shave that, right? And you know, it's just a short, stubbly beard. And now I don't think she has much choice in it now, because I mean, it's a famous beard, you know. So
my son has got a beard, and his
Yeah.
he doesn't trim it very often.
Right,
Every
right.
now and then he'll trim it if he's gonna see his mama.
Right.
His mama hates it.
right.
And when she sees it, she'll start, you know, you could trim a little bit here, you know, but but he's got hair to go with it.
Yeah, well,
You
anybody.
got the short hair.
That's right. I don't have any hair hardly, but
My daughter tells him that you got beautiful hair. I
Yeah.
wish my hair looked like yours.
well, to answer the question about my mom is she's a pretty fun person for who she is and all that, and she's not gonna give a care about a beard. She's a whatever makes you happy kind of person, you know.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
That's funny. Go ahead, Keith.
Well, we told you earlier we got a couple of questions we'd like to ask.
Yeah, we
And
usually
you
do
said
this
you
on
had
the
we gave you a little fork.
Y'all-
Yeah, we did.
y'all-
We usually ask these on our podcast, but
Yeah.
we thought we'd break them out.
Go ahead and break it out now.
All right, I'll let
Get it
y'all
out
ask the
there.
question so I don't answer the wrong one first.
Have you ever seen a Black Panther?
In the state of Mississippi.
I have seen one in Lincoln County. My wife and I, when we were engaged, we were hunting on a pipeline, and something crossed really quick, and I said, dang, I should have been looking, you know, it was a deer. And she said, no, it wasn't, it was something else. And I said, no, I think it was a deer. Well, when it came back, it was moving a lot slower. And I never actually saw its head, but I saw a tail, and I ain't never seen a deer with a tail. So call me crazy, call me whatever, but that's what it is, and that's what I saw.
Black Panther. There you go. We got most people say they're not there.
Well, and this was back when we had those old Nokia phones that you could play Snake on. You couldn't take pictures on it, you know, so I might could have done something, but no, I have no proof of it other than my wife will admit that she saw it too, so that's my best proof
There
I've
you
got.
go.
So,
There you
yeah.
go.
Well,
People might doubt you, but they're not gonna doubt
No,
you.
absolutely not. She's from Boca Chica. They're all trustworthy folks.
well,
And
I
she's a
like-
Smith, so I mean, come on.
There's one or two of those in the county.
Yeah. Well, her daddy was a music minister for years, so obviously a Smith is a music minister from Boca Chica.
There
I
you
mean,
go.
we got to
There you
believe
go.
her. So.
Well, we've my thing is, if they were out there, Bruce would have one mounted in the office.
No, he wouldn't, because it's illegal to kill him. Oh, goodness. I don't know. And I've asked the same question. Why aren't they on deer cameras? And the best thing I can tell you is, I don't know.
They're too smart.
Maybe that's what it is.
They're too smart.
Maybe that's what it is.
Well, it is interesting, and you mentioned earlier, I think you said something about you know people who said they'd heard them and that kind of thing.
Yeah, oh yeah, I've heard stories about when they were building the new sanctuary at Fair River, that something about the light or something, I don't know, they could hear somebody, the preacher could hear one hollering or something like that, but I've heard things that I thought was a woman screaming in the woods at night, but I didn't go and investigate, you know, 'cause they didn't need my help, you know, they didn't say my name, so not my problem, so.
Well, Brady, we appreciate you. Well, we got one more question, Keith. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna tell them that we appreciated them coming in and talking to us and tell us about this kind of thing folks like to hear right here, about real life people that live here in the county and raised here and what made you get out and do what you're doing.
Right. Well, and like I said, the why was just because we, you know, wanted to do it ourselves. We wanted to have the old time experience of specifically a hog, raising one up, butchering it, and we even did the thing that nobody talks about anymore, and we scalded and scraped them, you know, and nobody does that anymore because it's too much work. They'll skin them out, you know, and
right.
But it was a good time. I enjoyed that. I've only done it once or twice, and not saying I want to do it again tomorrow, but I got to experience that. But we just, like I say, I wanted to know where everything came from. I wanted to put my hands on my meat from day one to the end, and that's why we did it.
That's right. So if you're listening today and you're interested in something like this, maybe you do want to purchase a pig and have your own, you know, freezer full of pork.
That's right.
You can get in contact with Brady.
Yeah,
How can they get in contact?
we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, all the social media things that they say you got to be on nowadays to have a business, you know. So if you want to watch me and make fun of me, I'm on TikTok and make a fool out of myself there every now and then. But like I say, you can find us on Facebook. We've got a website that's linked through Facebook, and
so they go on Facebook, they can look up Fair River Farmstead.
Fair River Farmstead. That's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
can search that.
That's right.
You
I
will find
keep forgetting people can't see my hat in here. Like you said, if you can see it through the radio, I'm proud of you. So, but anyway, yeah, Fair River Farmstead on Facebook, and you can look us up there and find. Got my phone number on there and our website. And
that's right.
All the
So reach
information
out
on what
today.
we offer. So.
If you have questions, you can reach out to Keith or I, our office. Keith's number. Keith, what's your number?
601-201-4048.
Yep. Just give Keith a call and we'll put you in contact with Brady. Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
That went by quick. I appreciate y'all.
It's good.
Whew. That was 18 minutes.
Yeah.
Hard to believe.